Hello, my friends. Welcome to my timeline. Where I currently live, we have massive amounts of snow right now. It is just what feels like, in the blink of an eye, a winter wonderland. But like, not a fun winter wonderland. It's like not currently in the stage where you can go outside, have some fun. It's like, it's one of those days, one of those weeks where buses are canceled, school is canceled, and it feels like you just need to stay inside, stay warm, and just wait for everything to ease up. And it's interesting because we expect this to happen every single year, but this is the first year in like over a decade that we've had this type of weather, at least where I am. And this usually doesn't happen until like January. And so even though we know winter is coming, we were not prepared. We were not prepared. And I'm getting reminded of when you are in a point in your life where you're seeking transition, you're ready for something to shift in your life. And even though you want it to happen, you know it's going to happen, it's just simply the timing of things. When it actually occurs, there's still this limbo period where you have to adjust. I still don't have all of my hats and gloves out. I don't have my snow tires on. I don't even have winter boots for my kid. I don't even have any boots for my kid. I don't have any shoes that fit him. Like, I feel not prepared. I've been asking and working towards shifts in my life. I've been asking for this great wheel to turn, and there's this part of me that doesn't really know what I'm asking for. There's this part of me that is just simply asking for change, and not for change's sake, but just because I feel as though I'm in a place where I've been in this loading zone, this limbo space, just waiting for the next stage. I said I was going to fix that. I put like a ton of tape on the back of it, but it's still not doing a great job. And I wish this was coming out a little bit more eloquently, because I still haven't worked out exactly what it all means to me. I finished my journal today. I finished my journal, and I've been waiting to hear back from the bookstore, because I put it in order like 10 days ago for this book on the moon centers, and I've been waiting. But while I was there, I picked out a new journal because I knew I was getting close to the end, and I finally finished my journal. And I'm like, it's almost like this symbolic representation of like, okay, universe, like, I did it. I finished it. Like, I'm ready to close. I'm ready to close the chapter. I'm ready to move on to the next stage. And then now I have to just trust in divine timing, that I just have to be in this space until I'm ready. And I think the other day we spoke a little bit about how I was kind of working through the language of, spiritual development in terms of the birthing process, like the gestation and the laboring and then the birth. And I'm kind of reminded of that point where you're like 9 months pregnant and it could be any day. And you're just kind of like, oh, is it now? Like you're just kind of like you're waiting and you get a little bit frustrated sometimes because you're like, man, this is so uncomfortable. This is so uncomfortable. Like I just want to meet the baby. I want to do the thing. I want to get to the next stage. And I feel like that's where I'm at now. And of course, the best thing to do is just to surrender and to be okay with where you are, because things will happen when they're meant to happen. And when you force them, you just get into the mental side of anguish and frustration and discomfort, where if you just kind of rest, you know, take it as a time to just be present with your body, lean into your practices. Don't stress so much about what's going on or when it's going to happen. Just simply be. But it's hard to live in that state, isn't it? But so necessary. I've been thinking a little bit about traveling. I haven't done a lot of traveling in my day. I had a really challenging experience the last time that I traveled. It was very uncomfortable. Very, very uncomfortable. It wasn't right. I wasn't fully aligned. I wasn't fully aligned and it was very obvious. And I was pushing to travel. I was pushing to do this thing, and I just bulldozed past all the signs that it was not the right thing to do. And so I'm on the other side of that many years, and I have it's not a fear. I don't believe it's a fear, but there is a bit of an aversion to discomfort, to new things, and the idea of traveling with a young son makes me a little bit uncomfortable. Sometimes I feel like I can't even navigate my own nervous system regulation as well as his at home, where I have support and familiarity. But I'm trying, I think about the idea of being in an airport with a overtired baby who won't go to sleep in a room full of people that are also tired and stressed, trying to get on a plane, go somewhere, and live this adventure. And it makes me really uncomfortable. And I know people do it all the time. And I know there's ways to support yourself. And there's also just it's a day of someone else's life, and you can't let the thoughts of you impacting, other people's experiences. You can't just use that as an excuse to not live your life. Noted. I really want to take a train first. I've always had a bit of a fear of plane travel. I had a very scary experience when I was 13. I was alone on a plane. I was coming home from visiting my grandparents in Scotland, and I thought we were crashing. I thought we were crashing. And it was really impactful for me. And it made me worry, like, pretty worried and nervous about planes. But my one way, what I did to sort of, navigate that. I had a journal where I was writing at the time like 10 or 15 bucket list items, and one of them was to fly a plane. I thought that that would be a good way to kind of get over it, and to be like, okay, I'm safe. Like I piloted a plane. And so I actually did that about 2 years ago. It was like a two-seater, so I got to go up with a flight instructor, and but I got to fly it. Like I got to fly this plane, and I even got to help like land it as well. And maybe he says it to all the students, but he was like, "You're doing a great job. Like, you did it." And it was fun. It was really fun. It was actually really hard work. The two-seaters, like it required a lot of like strength, to be honest. Like my upper body was really, really sore and tired after. Like felt like I did a workout. There was a lot of vibrations in that plane, but I did it. I got to fly a plane, and it was like I it was a really cool moment. It was a really cool moment, and one way that I thought that I could navigate my fear of flying. I haven't been up since. But we'll see. I think that it's going to be a great experience to be more aligned and conscious while traveling, and not push my way into it like I did in the past. But where should I travel? Any suggestions? I'm currently in Canada, and honestly, I would love to explore a little bit more of Canada. Like I mentioned, I am really interested in train travel. There apparently there's a train that goes like all the way across Canada, and it goes through the mountains in BC, and apparently it's just absolutely stunning. So that calls to me. I'm really interested in seeing mountains, but I've also heard like I think I want to say like Switzerland has like really beautiful mountains, and you can take trains all through Europe as well. But anyways, I don't know a ton about the whole geography of everything, but I'd love to know your suggestions. Where are you getting called to suggest my travel be? Especially with a young family. I am going to meditate. It's been like a while since I've had a good like a session. The boys are napping, and I think I'm going to take this time to just meditate and be. I think that would be a nice way to just allow the snow day to be. All right, my friends. I hope you take good care, and I'll see you tomorrow.